time to jump on into the draft. So let's see what we're not going to be seeing instantly. No Lucian. So
okay. Like that, though it doesn't kind of take away from the early aggressive playstyle that I wanted to see from the bot lane. The Vi too, kind of trying to take away some of these really strong in the meta champions.
Yeah. So Vi going, that's unfortunate for me. Just one of my mains in the jungle, of course. So
I like Vi. Vi's interesting. She is super meta, but she's one of those fun meta picks, right?
Lots of good initiation, of course. Those knockups as well.
Yes!
Synergize pretty well.
Good!
Mate, you've got smiles all over that dial, don't you? Yumi out of there. I'm sure Rusty's backstage having a quick smile as well. So where do you see this going? Do you think it's still mostly Enchanters we're going to be seeing for the support role here?
Oh, yeah. That's what the meta for the bot lane really is. Yeah. Build up the AD carry, really try to put them into this power. It is a bot-centric meta. It will be that way for the next few odd patches. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being the case for the rest of the year.
So you get Lucian out of there. You don't really need to ban Nami, do you?
Well, no. You're not really going to pick the Nami unless it's a takeaway from Lucian.
Yeah.
It's purely based off that. Same with like Sona. Sona's just kind of the backup if Nami's banned away, so you're like, oh, I can go for that. But Melio being the other ban on the other side is something I do like watching play, but at the same time, understand taking that off the board, especially because on red side, you would expect that to immediately be the lock-in.
Yeah, so just completely gone. Nico, of course, also going to be smacked out of there, so there's not going to be too many shenaniganeries in terms of, her duplicating herself. Now, what is going to be the final ban for the red sign here?
Gotta be Zeri.
Has to be Zeri?
Gotta be Zeri. If you're not banning Zeri, you first lock that in for an MM. That's what I'm expecting. Rakan being the ban, it is a Kaiwing special.
Yep.
So it's not too surprised to see that, but with Zeri being left open, unless you're really trying to play safe in this bot lane and you want to go for more of that scaling that I talked about that I would expect to see from Chinese Taipei, just based off the history of some of their players, I would still expect to go for some of these powerful picks. But Cassante, I think, is still a very good pick for the blue side.
Okay, so tank up top. Let's see if it's going to be...
Not necessarily.
No?
Could be mid lane.
Could be mid lane?
We have been seeing a lot of flexibility between this Cassante with how powerful he is right now in the meta. Yep. He's another one of the champions that I would like to see a round of nerfs levied towards him.
Yep.
But at the moment, if he's going to be left open, you take it.
And there goes the Maokai pick also. So that's probably going into the jungle. And let's see what else we're going to get from Team Chinese Taipei. It's Aphelios.
If it's Aphelios, Zeri's going to be the other side. Okay. Handshake. Just be like, oh, yeah, you get that, I get this. Okay, cool.
A little bit of movement, a little bit of action. We'll see what goes down in the bot lane. And is it going to be that instant Zeri lock-in?
Let's see. With the jungle being taken on the other side, the Maokai, curious to see what Kenny wants to play here in the jungle, especially because Vi, something that can actually do pretty good into the Maokai, has been taken off. Wukong is still available.
Yeah.
Which is also a good pick. Oh! Okay. Wow. Hong Kong, China, instead, they're saying, we don't want the Zeri for the scaling that way. Instead, we're just going to go for the full scaling with the Jinx instead.
Got that global ult as well, which could come in handy depending on what their comp angle is. And we'll see what Meds is going to be doing as well. What complements the Jinx down there?
I'm looking at the enchanters like Lulu.
Okay.
Something safe in the bot lane like that.
Got the Sedge in the jungle too, so bit of utility, bit of AP damage coming through, and also a little bit of CC to boot. See some Tokyo drifts maybe throughout the game. Now it's Maple's turn before we jump on back into the bans. So, do you think we're going to see something to match that potential top pick, or do you think that Cassante is still going to be floated in the mid lane?
I think you can go for something like Jace here, like they're hovering, just because of the flexibility that it has. Since, like I said, Cassante is flexible himself. You can go mid or top, either or, and that's why it's such a good pick early into the draft, because you do have that where you can keep that mystery over your opponent, where it's like, okay, you don't know exactly where he's going. You don't really want to have to deal with him in certain matchups, but same with Jace. Jace has that flexibility as well. Maple can play that. That can go for Aju in the top lane as well, that they can easily just swap that around. So they kind of hold on to that, and that's what I do like what Chinese Taipei did.
Okay, well, we are going to see yet another ban come through. Throwing that one over to Team Hong Kong China now. Let's see what they're going to get rid of.
Malphite. Okay. To me, it indicates that Hong Kong China are expecting Maple be piloting this Jace. Jace has been much more mid lane as of lately. Like I said, has that flexibility, but has been more of a mainstay in the mid lane and really trying to pinch the pool on both sides. To me, kind of indicates that Chinese Taipei are also expecting that K'Sante to go mid lane for mid.
Yeah, and Gwen, of course, going for that ban just to make sure, in case K'Sante goes mid, there's not going to be too much danger in the top lane, but also getting rid of the Silas. So we might see a couple of big ults picked for Team Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised by the Silas ban because they don't have the best ults to really steal outside of the Maokai ult.
Not yet.
Right, not yet. And but the Malphite ban on the other side is really the big pick away that you kind of would want to take, where you're like, okay, if you have Silas open, Malphite's always tricky to pick because you have to deal with then Silas getting taken on the other side, the flexibility that has, and then not knowing how you're going to be able to pilot around those mid-game team fights with the Wombo combo that is stolen away.
Okay. Well, Lulu's gone, and it's back into the picks, so
Nautilus.
See what support we're going to be getting to go along with the Aphelios. No, Lulu means not too much fun.
Think of Nautilus. Nautilus, I think, is
Scion?
Scion's kind of what I was expecting, to be honest, with the fact that you ban Gwen.
Yep.
When you ban Gwen, you're screaming that you want to go for Scion, just because how bad that matchup is. You are not going to be able to do anything. If you play Gwen if you've ever played Scion into Gwen, you know that matchup, you're happy if you get Flame Horizon. You're like, I only got Flame Horizon? That's all that happened? Wow!
Well, let's have a look here. We are going to see the Azir locked in. So, okay, getting fancy. Trying to change this one up. Looks like K'Sante should be shifted up the top lane, or are we going to see Azir maybe flex it?
No. Definitely.
Not today.
K'Sante Scion matchup isn't terrible for Scion. It's great for the Maokai because he's not going to be moved. Yep. You're just going to be a big ball of stats that can stand in front of that Jinx. Yep. That's why I like that Azir pickup with the change that Azir has seen to his itemization. He is going back to the W max, the old attack speed, using the soldiers, which means that you can melt through a lot of these frontline beefy balls of stats like a Scion really quickly.
So there you go. And speaking of beef, we got Braum over on the other side, so that's going to be shifted down to support. Also, Nautilus was locked in there for Team Hong Kong China.
Not bad, not bad. I like the change up. Not going for the typical enchanters in the bot lane that I was expecting. Then again, some of the most powerful ones in the Yuumi, Melio were taken off the board, with Lulu being banned as well.
There is some heavy engage on both sides here. Of course, maybe that's why we've seen Braum, a little bit of counter engage just in case.
That is exactly why you have that. As you see the other side, the only problem is Braum is really good once they have dove into you. But there's a lot of non-committal engage that Hong Kong China has for themselves. That's going to be really difficult for Chinese Taipei to really pilot around.
Well, we'll see how the piloting goes, but it looks like it is time for the game. It's time to jump on in. And these are your lineups. This is where everyone's going. It's going to be... I think there's going to be a lot of brawling down towards that bottom lane, as I guess that's expected. But Junja, mate, he's going to be coming in hot with that Maokai, I reckon. Keep your eyes on him.
And I'm looking at Kenny Chan on the other side, trying to answer those bot lane plays. You could always play around the top lane, but once you see the Scion on the other side, you're like, it doesn't matter how many times you gank him. All he has to do is buy one item and he's useful.
He certainly can be. But look, early game, do you think it's going to favor either of these teams? Do you think Team Hong Kong China is probably aiming for that late game, just trying to get through?
Honestly, I think both teams have really solid drafts for themselves. And I look at the late game scaling they each have. I do favor more of Team Hong Kong China's. When you have an Azir and Jinx, once you get to past 30 minutes into the game, doesn't matter how bad everything else has gone, you are going to win. You melt down objectives, you melt down opponents, you melt down structure.
Well, we'll see how much melting's going to be going down, but it is time to jump on in. Ooh. Are we going to see that early shenaniganeries?
There you go. You got it, you got
it. Early shenaniganeries? Or is it going to be a slow approach, handshakes all around? I guess we are just about to find out. And it looks like there might be some shenaniganeries for you.
I like that, Chinese Taipei. Looking for the shenaniganeries right out of the get-go. But it was sniffed out by Team Hong Kong China. So despite their attempts to go for this invade, they're not really going to gain much more than vision, which will be answered by Kenny-chan on the other side, as he was able to easily walk in, put down that ward right outside of Raptors.
Just handshakes all around for the moment. The pings, they're very aware of where the wards are. Deep red ward as well, right near the Raptors, means they're going to spot that early rotation. But you can see the Sedge opting to maybe start blue instead.
Ooh, 10 gold shared between the bot lane.
Okay.
And that's it, GG. 10 whole gold.
Oh, the scaling's begun, huh?
Yeah, though you probably would like that better on the Jinx and the Azir now that I think about that. But it was the other side that got the ward, so that's going to be rough.
Well, let's see how they go. Maokai starting Raptors uncontested, so it's going to be a top-to-bot clear for both these junglers.
They're going towards the bot lane. Playing towards that bot lane.
Yep,
but I tell you, Mac.
It's just going to be a whole bunch of fun. Now, have a look at the wave state here. It's like Team Hong Kong China. Well, not quite getting prior. Going to get chunked down a little bit. Copying a nice little bit of poke there from Woody. And solo kill. He's looking to just harass as early as possible up there in the top lane.
Ooh, like that from Skywing right there, though. Forcing off Wako and Woody, so they're going to get the level 2 experience lead, especially with how the bot lane, the junglers are looking towards the bot lane plays.
Yeah.
Could help them set up when the wave does start crashing back towards them by the time the junglers get there. But they got to make sure they crash that wave early so they can get the bounce back from the wave quickly.
Well, little skirmish here up top. Solo kill. Happy just to have a little bit of fun.
What happens when solo kill gets a solo kill?
Then we yell solo kill, solo kill.
If we say it a third time, does that summon him?
We'll have to find out. I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
For the moment, little gold gap already going to be found here by Team Hong Kong China. 300 or 200. Not shifting around too much.
But that 20 gold bot lane. Don't forget about that. That's going to help out. Honestly, right now, nothing too fanciful. Mid lane, top lane, bot lane getting priority for Team Hong Kong China is going to be a big deal for Chinese Taipei, just because now Kenny Chen has all this opportunity. He doesn't have to focus on the bot lane. He has 3 lanes of priority where he'll have control over Junjia. And if you're getting controlled as Maokai, that is struggle bus. Yeah, you're the one who wants to get the vision set up with your saplings right away.
So he hasn't really had too much of an opportunity with that, but it has been a solid clear from him so far. Full clear, hits level 4 nice and early. But where's he going?
He's going for the scuttle. He's aiming straight for the scuttle, but now they see Kenny-chan. He's going for mid lane, like I said, because every lane has priority for Team Hong Kong China. Junjia doesn't get to do what Maokai wants to do, which is set up around the river early into the game, control your opponent, and that's something that we've seen in the past that Junjia is very telegraphed with. So I love this read coming in from Team Hong Kong China.
So macro-wise, you can see that Kenny-chan's read this so well. He's going to try to steal the Raptor away, even invest the smite for it, since he didn't have to use that. For the scuttle, of course, wasn't contested in the river, and that's going to be the start of a Diffie and the Jiffy already beginning.
Diffie and the Jiffy. Like that one. Is it like Jiffy peanut butter, though? Or do you guys have that in Australia?
No, we just have normal peanut butter.
Okay, you have good stuff. Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Do you know Juves? Have you met Juves?
Yes, I have met Juves.
Okay, well, that's a Juves special, the old Diffie and the Jiffy.
I'll have to bring that up one time. Next time I see him, maybe like when I'm casting one of his games, just make sure to say that.
All right. Well, Waco's got this level advantage now. Starting with the cult, is already down to 66 stacks remaining. And over towards the mid, looks like the harass is pretty good for Meds. Maple going for that one, even though you're looking at the resources, he doesn't have a lot to work with.
No. He's trying to clear out the wave the best he can so he can look for this recall, TP back into the lane, because there's not much you can do. This is why I do like that pickup of the Azir in the draft into Maple the moment they saw that Sion, because Azir is so good into Sion, but also really good into Jace. Since Jace might have the range, but Azir's always going to be able to outrange you at every single stage.
Well, Woody, able just to sit there, gain himself an extra level, and make sure that there's not too many shenanigans going down in the bot lane. TP going to be invested at the 5-minute mark, so looks like we are going to see Meds have that almost on cooldown as soon as it gets unleashed.
Same with Maple, so there a lot of possibilities around 10 minutes, 11 minutes into the game. Bot lane play, we were kind of highlighting that before.
Feels like Maple used it first. Med says, you know what, I'm going to get that free back.
Yeah, might as well.
Matches him.
Get a lost chapter, come back into lane and say, Maple, you're still not going to be able to do anything in this lane.
And what's going on? Okay, Team Hong Kong China going for that first Drake. They do have mid prio. They don't quite have bot prio, but they are keeping it contested.
They have bot lane prio.
Okay.
That's a fat minion wave stack right now. Top lane too. Even if Solo Kill did TP, they have priority there. There's a lot of question marks on where Kenny-chan is. Med can even rotate down. They're starting off a fight.
Ooh, going straight on in there. Looks like it's just going to be Woody getting absolutely pummeled. Waco, keep your eyes on him. Man's just trying to do as much damage as possible. He's got that purple-blue set up. Kenny Chan's low. Kai Wing running the wrong direction, running to the wrong base. Kenny Chan, he is barely alive. It is going to be first blood drawn by Maple. Big pick coming through, and he might be able to find some more investment, more value off the back of this one. MM going to be able to cleanse away, but will get slowed down off the back of it. Junja should be able to finish him off here. Or
there's no escape.
The great escape is not going to happen today, and Junior's going to be able to find another. So 3 for 0, no trade coming through there for Team Hong Kong China.
And even an execute too. Kenny-chan went right to the turret, realized there was no escape. Just been like, all right, might as well go for the quick back to base because we know this fight was completely won by Chinese Taipei. Honestly, gotta give a lot of respect towards the temperance they had there because that was a horrible position initially for them to be in. But the fact that they were able to constantly juggle who was the one getting focused initially by Hong Kong China meant that they were focused down onto one person at a time. All of them were getting all their damage pretty much cyclical onto one person.
Yeah.
Where for Hong Kong China, they kind of had it spread about. Nobody was really low. So we take a look at this replay.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. Look at how Woody, the only one that's really low. Everyone else only took chip damage.
Yeah, Woody soaked up so much damage. You could see that they tried to hit Junja as well, but he's going to invest the flash to get away, and this is where Maple just comes in as the kick cleanup crew. So much health. Oh,
this is the tragic moment for MM. He flashed over, but Twisted Advance was already there, and it follows you wherever you go. It was really low, so we take a look at this replay.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. Look at how Woody, the only one that's really low. Everyone else only took chip damage.
Yeah, Woody soaked up so much damage. You could see that they tried to hit Junja as well, but he's going to invest the flash to get away, and this is where Maple just comes in as the kick cleanup crew. So much health. Oh, this is the tragic moment for MM. He flashed over, but Twisted Advance was already there, and it follows you wherever you go. Yeah. So you flash away. Like I said, there was no escape at that point. Read him like a book, and that was an easy one for Junja. Now, Maple, of course, with that first blood gold, is probably going to help equal up, you know, the CS diff there in mid at the moment. But at the same time, this wave is coming in hot. Man's just staying aggressive. You can see he's just trying to get as much vision. That play really kind of saves this mid lane for Maple. Yeah. Because as Jace, you do want to get those first early kills so you can constantly snowball and you get towards that first mythic item spike where you can clear out any minion wave the moment it spawns. All you have to do is get your accelerated gate and the shock blast, clears out the wave, and that completely negates the power Azir has into you, where his wave clear is usually superior. Now it's no longer going to be the case. Now you're looking up top too. Solo kill, of course, already with the 14 CS gap, starting to get those plates, chipping one away. With that Sheen as well, of course. Going to be able to get that extra bit of damage out as much as he possibly can. You can see here that MM and Highwing, they do have this bit of support from Kenny Chan, who is going to show himself here, right behind the wave, but it's instantly matched. Junja not too far away, down in the river, but they are going to try to sneak away the Drake. Gotta be careful though, that's a lot of damage onto Woody. They even got the ult on there, throwing it back with Death Charge onto Woody. They're going to be able to pick up the kill onto Kaiwing, while Woody, even with Ignite, survived that whole time. Insane, and he's got the helping hand of his teammates too, so we'll be able to back untouched, unfinished. Insane how that one's played out. No, I love that from Chinese Taipei. They have a lot of temperance where this shows that power when you are a team. The full 5 unit we were talking about, where you get all this scrim time, where they initially looked like they got caught out. But because Woody survived all the initial onslaught, they realized, hey, we can turn this back on them. We've got them in this tight corridor that they can't fight because Med has not shown up yet. Well, where to now? Focus back to top lane, and again, it is just going to be each of them slowly and surely whacking one another. These big, tanky individuals just soaking all that damage. Over towards mid, there was an attempt from Woody to try and catch Kaiwing during that rotation. Bit of support on support action, huh? Let's see how this goes. Looks like we might see MM rotate across, but I don't think they've got eyes on Junja, so they are going to give the respect to Woody, but there might be a lurking jungler not too far away.
Also, pretty good gun setup there from Wako, where he had the white and green gun that could poke out by himself if he even shows up near that turret, which is why he actually pathed that way. It wasn't even about looking to rotate towards mid lane. It was like, hey, is anyone on their way here? I need some support so I can get back towards the turret and not lose all these plates over to Wako.
It was interesting how it all played out. And solo kill. I thought he was going to back there, but decided against it. Does have Kenny Chan not too far away, so at least one of these lanes is kind of going right at the moment for Team Hong Kong China.
K'Sante, just K'Sante things right now.
Yeah.
I told you he's one of the 2 champions where I'm just like, I don't like to see him just because how strong he is. Doesn't matter what you do, it's just K'Sante.
Yeah. And you're looking at Junjie as well. Definitely an enabler. 100% KP. And what are we going to see here? Solo kill is going to go for a flank TP with that unleashed teleport and is trying to catch Azure here as he is going to invest the ult to get away to safety. So, look, nice attempt.
He really wanted to get that TP out of Aju as best as possible.
Yeah.
Ooh, bot lane though. MM, that is a horrible spot, but he was able to throw it back, surviving because of that TP from Med to make sure that he wasn't going to fall.
Oh, and they can't really turn here. You can see that there is a little bit of a gold gap. Team Chinese Taipei just slightly too strong. Team Hong Kong China, of course, just keeping it as slow as possible, just trying to make sure that they don't roll away. What?
I love this from Aju. He doesn't TP back into the lane. He holds onto it this entire time. We're 12 minutes into the game. Unleash TPs, especially looking towards these dragon fights where they can set something up. We're at only it's 3 minutes until the dragon, so it's not necessarily that important, but just holding off on that. That means that Team Hong Kong China always have to fear that Sion can show up at any play that they even attempt, because Med TP'd into the bot lane to save the bot lane's life. Well, they no longer have TPs across the board.
It's all about when Maple wants to use his. Again, there's just going to be 2 rocks whacking each other. Who's going to crack first? Find out in 20 minutes.
I was about to say, if we're lucky, that's how long it'll take. At least until K'Sante has all that is.
Yeah. Well, where to from here? Let's check in at the bot lane. 2-level difference between MM and Wako, and here comes that
about the TP.
TP from Maple coming in on the flank angle, and they're just going to fight out of the turret. Absolutely no respect, and they'll juggle the aggro perfectly. They might be able to get this as first turret with every single one of these plates. Kenny Chan and Med are here to try to force him away, but I don't know if they're going to be able to. Clear in that wave, just trying to get the tower aggro onto as many of these as possible, but there it goes.
Mwah! Chef's kiss in that bot lane. That was a beautiful play from Chinese Taipei.
Just taking the initiative, taking a almost... Oh, it's getting there. It's 4K gold gap now. Oh, finally! Solo kill! Oh, it's going to get the solo bolo.
You're supposed to... Almost. Solo kill got the solo kill in the top lane. Aju was wanting to chase that down with the zombie form. It is only a silver lining, though, of this play that happened for Team Hong Kong China. It does allow them to go into this mid lane and get the charge from Shelly, but it won't take down the turret. There are no plates either. Yeah. So you don't get any real benefit. The play purely benefits Chinese Taipei.
Definitely got that Herald a little late, of course. Could have got those plates, but of course, getting the first turret, getting every single plate on it was damn good. I think Wako only had to share like 1 or 2 of those plates in total, because you could see Woody as well just constantly roaming around trying to help out everyone else on the map, making sure that everything's going right. And then the only place where things are going wrong for Team Chinese Taipei right now is Aja up top. But even then, look, he can still find some kind of impact, some kind of utility later on in the team fights.
Right, that's the thing.
It's soak a lot of damage. Come back for a second.
You're Sion. You got your mythic. You're like, I'm fine. It doesn't matter. You can die 10 times top lane, and it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, and look, he's just all about living. Got that Sunfire Cape online. First item. Still not going to be going for a mythic yet. Starting to build that now. Over towards the bottom lane. It looks like Team Chinese Taipei are just going to full focus on bottom and probably try to push this in early. Again, just completely pillaging everything over towards the blue side jungle.
Taking everything possible away from Hong Kong, China. And I'm still debating whether it's a BM from Maple here with his build path, the Dusk Blade over Youmuu's. Just because Youmuu's is, even if it got nerfed, still a very powerful item, the movement speed he gets you. Well, Duskblade is purely the style on them. Like, I'm going to get a snipe on you, and then I'm going to be able to get right on out of there.
Stay invisible for a cheeky bit.
Not anymore, not invisibility. It's untargetable.
Okay.
They changed that in this offseason.
I got that. Now, back towards mid lane, we are going to see Chinese Taipei manage to get another tower, and that's going to be Wacko just slapping Kai Wing straight on down. Woody here trying to slow them all up as the rotations start to come through for Team Chinese Taipei. And again, they are looking to force the point, but this time Solo Kill is here, and he's looking to run right back. He's not scared of Azure at all. Wants to keep on taking this fight, and his presence is enough to force Chinese Taipei away.
Exactly, because he is the one member that is still ahead on the team, and being a Cassante, you never really want to fight into him, because at this point in the game, you might have that Duskblade for a Maple, but you're going up against a tank. He can absorb every little bit of the poke that you try to do to him. It is going to be purely on Wacko's damage that you can utilize to actually force out Cassante, but the weapon setup wasn't really there for Chinese Taipei, so I respect them backing off the play. They got the pick they needed to. No need to greed.
No overextension. Still 2 Drakes until we see any soul point potentially contestable.
Yeah, but right now, I'm kind of just waiting for Team Hong Kong China to scale. Because even though this game isn't going their way so far, 17 minutes into the game, 5,000 behind, they have great scaling on their team. I talked about that before. You get to 30 minutes with an Azir Jinx, doesn't matter how far behind you are, you're going to be a menace. 3-item Jinx, 3-item Azir, they're unstoppable.
And look, speaking of unstoppable, of course, we've got the Hextech Rift coming through, so we do have those Hex Gates to play around. I'm keen to see exactly how Team Chinese Taipei use these. Of course, if they do have that advantage, you're just going to see them start to rotate a little bit quicker. You can cheat those backs more as well. And unfortunately for Team Hong Kong China, they are losing everything in their jungle, and I think this gold gap is going to get astronomical pretty quick.
Starve them. That's the best play for Chinese Taipei. You can't buy those items if you have no gold.
They can't go into the jungle, they can't leave their base, then how the hell are they going to get any gold at all?
And it makes it that 30 minutes that I was talking about, it expands that to 40 minutes. It makes that delay that much longer until you can actually get these items, because even look at the inventories right now. Well, you have that Leandries, you got that Kraken Slayer. Those are only a component of the power spikes that you really need. You need that Nashor's Tooth as med on Azir if you really want to bring that power to take down Ashi on this Scion.
And look, Wacko as well. He is a few more components ahead, and he is just going to get that second item as well. So Gale Force coming through, Kraken Slayer 2, and we'll have a huge power spike. So with that, with some huge gold lead over his opposing ADC, we'll see if Woody can work on a flank angle here, try to slow someone down for Maple to poke out. But Kenny Chan seems to be switched on. Base checking, not going to happen. Just gets that ward off. And again, just constantly being an absolute nuisance to Team Hong Kong China.
Like I said, just continue to starve them. Give them nothing, not even scraps. They don't even get like the leftover crust from people with their bread. You're not letting them have a single thing. Oh,
they're getting Krugs.
Oh, they got crumbs. Okay, they got crumbs here, not even the crust.
Got a little bit of extra gold and maybe some of that experience, but here comes the Nature's Grasp. We are going to see the push forward, so the tower is here. It's going to be that 4th man for the moment until MM turns up, and Team Hong Kong China are going to go straight on in, but you can see that the counter engage is just too good from Woody. They're slowing him down, they're poking away, and the health bars for Solo Kill, it's almost gone. He's living. Oh, Junja, he'll fall to the tower. Is that going to be enough now? Kenny Chan out of there. No more CC. MM trying to dish damage at range, but it's just not going to be enough to match the power of Team Chinese Taipei.
Best play for Hong Kong China, though. They got a kill.
They got
something. They're getting the crumbs. They're on the board. The bigger problem is, what do you lose after that play? You're losing a tier 2 turret mid lane. That's why you have to TP here. You have to continue that pressure before Chinese Taipei can spend any of the gold.
We'll see where to from here. Bit more action going down. You've got Solo Kill who's feeling it. Really looking for another kill here onto Azure, but they're not going to quite find it. Refocusing over to Woody, who is mispositioned, but we'll see if Team Chinese Taipei are going to be able to rotate in time. Oh my lord, MM just lost half his health bar in one shot, and now he's straight out of this fight. Solo Kill, mate, you are solo. You are on your own, and you are in the damn grave. Team Hong Kong China now licking their wounds, looking to just try and salvage anything. Again, they'll get a red buff. That's better than what they've been finding.
But right there, that was your Hail Mary. That was your desperation play. You're throwing the TP from solo kill to look for that flank because you needed anything after what had happened here at this play underneath the turret, where they initially were able to thwart a lot of the play from Chinese Taipei because solo kill is still very tanky. You see how little damage he initially took, and it's a great initial engage, but nobody was ready. Med had TP'd way after he had already flashed in, and with solo kill nearly dying, that means that once Med gets there, he has no backup.
Well, no backup needed. And again, just having a quick look at the iCall replay. There is a lot of action down towards the bot lane. And we spoke about it earlier, that's where we saw that gap starting to begin, and it looks like it might be where it's ending. But for the moment, Team Chinese Taipei slowing it down, looking like they are just going to push in as many lanes as possible, get as much gold to feast on, and make sure that there is just no chance of a comeback, from Team Hong Kong China.
But I don't want them to slow down this game too much. Keep in mind that no matter what, you're always on a timer against a Nazir and Jinx comp. You always have to fear them, and if you ever go away from this Baron now, if you don't have every vision and every alcove locked down as Chinese Taipei, and you have Hong Kong China sneak in there, they take that in an instant.
The other thing I'm noticing too is, we got a bit of a team fight over towards the top river. It is Woody just soaking damage again. Solo kill, he's gone. He had no opportunity, was just completely rooted by the nature's grasp. And Team Hong Kong China, they might be team done in just a moment. Look at those health bars again. They're just retreating. There was just no chance at them contesting the objective. And with Kenny Chan gone, that is a free Baza.
That's gone. It's easily going to be taken here by Chinese Taipei. They're putting the icing on the cake here. We're going to have a nice birthday celebration after this one because they are easily going to take this game from here.
Baron buff there. It should be easy pickings. Let's watch this one back again. And look at this Nature's Grasp coming from the side. Well, MM able to dodge it, Med as well. You can see that they're at the back trying to get any damage done, but look at the health on the red members there. Team Chinese Taipei were barely soaking any damage. They were barely getting touched in this one. It was all Woody. Initially just gets blasted, and then his positioning straight in the mid-fight. You can see him just rotating out, allowing someone else to soak it. And the coordination, this is what we were talking about in the pre-match. It just looks that much better for Team Chinese Taipei.
Target selection on point. Always getting those calls. Being all right, this is who we got to focus on initially. If this is the target we take out right away.
Yeah.
I liked it too from Maple, where he was on the side poking out Med. So that way you could never have that re-engage from the Emperor's Divide. That possibly could be the wild card for Hong Kong China that catches Team Chinese Taipei off guard.
Well, again, Team Chinese Taipei targeting the lower tier 2. Let's see if they're going to be able to find it. But Team Hong Kong China, they are certainly grouping. They are ready for a fight. But look at Wacko's damage. That turret is gone. It is out of here.
Yeah, they're going to take that one. They've got a pretty good minion wave set up from mid lane as well. So they can now threaten on two fronts the 1-4 composition. Even though Team Hong Kong China does have really good wave clear, it's going to be so difficult. Like I said, they had the setup from the waves where mid and bot were going to get threatened simultaneously.
Team Azure here as well, just making sure that those minions are empowered. And you can see just how much damage it does to the turret. Almost half gone. Bottom turret, however, still going to be held on to by Team Hong Kong China. Just waiting again. And we'll see if they can sync up these waves. It looks like that's exactly what they're doing. Just last hitting all the little blue minions there. In comes the synced wave. So let's see how much damage they can do to the turret here. You got Azure ready and happy just to take that one away. Oh, it's just enough of a distraction, and there it goes. He's clearing the wave too. Looks like the inhib is next on the menu. And Team Chinese Taipei, their macro is just on a different level. Team Hong Kong China just can't quite match it. Playing slow, playing as defensive as they possibly can, but I just don't think it's going to matter.
They're looking for the Hail Mary, though. The miracle play from solo kill to all out, but he had to flash back towards his own base, and with your tank gone, that means another turret will be taken by Team Chinese Taipei as well as the inhibitor.
Bottom inhib gone, mid inhib gone. And Team Hong Kong China, they took too long to heal on up. There was nothing that they could do. And, at least respectfully, Team Chinese Taipei are just going to walk away, happy with the inhibs, let the game end itself. And it looks like, what have we got? Soul Point not too far away. We are going to still see an attempt at a couple of backs. No. Okay, they'll stay and play with 40 seconds before, of course, the final Drake is up for the Soul Point.
Can he? Oh no. Your jungler caught out. He was looking for the crumbs back. He was looking for anything back into the game.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing that he can find. He will fall to the minions eventually. Minions too strong this time. And it looks like Team Chinese Taipei are roughing this one up. About to put a bow on it. MM just trying to escape to safety. Although as much as he can. Met as well. Just having those towers to play around might be a saving grace, but it looks like with the wave and a half, it might just be GG. Nexus about to be exposed, and that might just be all she wrote.
That is all she wrote. Chinese Taipei, they got that lead after about one dragon fight, and from there, they're able to close out game one, make sure that they are already one step ahead of Team Hong Kong China, where I said the series could look close. We've seen them play against each other, at least 3 of the 5 members on Team Hong Kong China against Team Chinese Taipei. But it seems that when you have all 5 members of your team still here, it is too powerful to deal with.
It's certainly